Alright guys, welcome to Pika Chefs Academy. It's actually our basic course, our core course. It's very important course. You need to know it. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to actually calculate your profits and what you don't actually want to forex, your loss. So I'm going to be talking about PEEP and loss. Let's say you trade, you went on a buy trade and you made 100 PEEP profits. How much have you actually made? So that's what we're going to be talking about. How much have you actually made? Or it goes against your plan. Maybe it goes on the other hand, on the loss side. How much have you actually lost? So I'm going to be teaching you guys calculation behind it and everything you need to know about pips and lot size. So first of all, let's move to this. This is actually the name. We have the standard lot. Then, and the unit for this standard lot is 1,000 units. And the value of this 1,000 units is $10. That's value per PEEP. Value per PEEP, which is $10 for this 100,000 units. Then we have second here, we have the mini lot, which is 10,000, which is equivalent to $1. This is the value per PEEP. Then we have the micro lot, which is $1,000. Then the value here is 10 cents, which is $0.1. Then the fourth one here, I'm not going to be talking about this much. This is nano lot. I'm not going to be concerned about this too much. So the unit here is 100 and it's 1 cent. So we're going to be talking about, yes, we traded 100 pips profits. How much have we made? And we're going to be talking about the calculations now. So let's forward. So let's say we go on the buy for Euro USD and we went on this from this place. This was where we strike the trade and we went on 100 pips profit. It was here, and if you minus this from this, you discover that it's 100. This is for the pairs that end with USD. We made 100 pips profit. So let's go with calculation of one standard lot. Let's say we use one standard lot for that particular trade. We used one standard lot for that particular trade. How much did you make? So let's continue. So first of all, yeah, we already know that we use one standard lot and we made 100 profit pips. So in this standard lot size, we are told that for a single pip movement, the equivalent of that single pip for one is $10, and we made 100 pips profit, and we traded one standard lot. So $10 per pip, telling us that for each one of these pips here is $10. So 100 times 10, then times the numbers of standard lot we trade is one standard lot we used. So we actually made a 1,000 profits for this particular buy trade of Euro USD. Okay, let me go over it again. We went on a buy trade for Euro USD and we made this movement and we made 100 pips. If you punch your calculator 1.0902 minus this, as this minus this, we discover that it's 100, and that's the move profit we made, 100 pips times 10. Why is it times 10? We know that the unit for one standard lot is 100,000. I said it. Let's go back here. The unit for one standard lot is 100,000, which is equivalent to $10 per pip. That's the value per pip, $10. So let's go back. So what we're actually going to do is to, since we already know that it's $10 per pip, this $10 here, and we traded one standard lot. So it's going to be 10 times the numbers of pips we made, numbers of pips in profits we made, times the numbers of standard lot, 1. So that's how we actually made a $1,000 profit for that particular trade of Euro USD. Okay, I'm going to be teaching you in another format. This is one of the best formats I actually used in learning this, and it's very simple. So what actually happened? It's the same thing we're going to be talking, but I'm going to be using the unit aspects to explain it so that you're going to understand it. So first of all, we went on a buy trade, Euro USD, and we made the same profit of 100 pips, and we used one standard lot. What actually happened here is that we bought 100,000 units of euro. Then the broker, they gave us this value. That's 100,000 times this value. If you punch your calculator, you get this value. So we are holding this value. We are holding this value. So when we made a profit, what actually happened was the exchange rate changed. Making profits in Forex market, it's actually exchange rates changing. You bought the euro with your dollar, and you were holding this amount. The broker, they gave you this amount. So the price moved to this amount, and we're having your 100,000 units. The price changed due to the exchange rate. So if you minus this value from this, you actually get this 1,000 profits. That was what actually happened. Times this by this value here to get this. Because of the exchange rate, the change, we made 100 pips movement. That is, we are buying 100 units of euro. And the broker, they gave us this amount, waiting for it. We are hoping that the value, the exchange rate will change. That we're going to make profit. So it's actually moved from this value to here. So if you minus this from this was where the profit came about. Calculating it in terms of units. This was how we got our $1,000 profits. So let me move forward. I'm going to be explaining it using mini lot size. So yeah, we're going to be using 2 mini lot size to actually trade the same pair, USD. So we went on the same trade and we made 100 pips movement. But we already know that for mini lot size, the value for mini lot size here, mini lot is $1 per pip, which is 10,000 units for a mini lot size, just one mini lot size. So let me move forward. Yep. Okay. So, but we are actually trading 2 mini lot size. Okay. So, what's the calculation behind this? And we knew that we made 100 pips profits, but we used 2 mini lot size. How much have we actually made? Since we already know that the value of 1 mini is $1 per pip. I explained it earlier. Check it, you see it. $1 per pip. So we're going to times this $1 times this 100 pips movement. What I'm actually saying here is that for every pip here, it's $1. For every single pips, it's $1. So we're going to times 1 times this 100 pips movement times the numbers of lots we use 2 mini lot size. This 2 mini lot size here times this over. So it actually gives us a profit of $200. If you observe closely, standard lot is actually bigger than the mini lot size. So let me move forward. Okay, this is also the same thing, calculating your profit in units. Okay, what we did here is simple. We know that for 1 mini lot size is 10,000 units, but we traded 2 mini lot size. We times 2 times 10,000 to give you 200,000. What we did here was we bought 20,000 units of euro with our dollar. Then the broker, they gave us 21. This value here you see here. If you times this 20,000 times this value, times it by this value, you get this value here. So we are holding this. So because of the exchange rate, it changed to this value because we actually made 100 pips movements as our profit. So you check here, if you minus this from this, it will actually give you $200 profits. So that's just how come about the profits. Check here. The calculation we did here was calculating our pips by the value of 1 mini lot size times the amount of mini lots. You know that it's $1 per pip for a mini lot size times 100 pips. So that's how you get the profits here. So as time goes on, you get to understand the whole thing. It's actually basic course, and I'm going to be explaining more. So thanks guys for watching this video.